Going, my name is Harlem Pickle and welcome back to some more Satisfactory, where today we are going to be working quite a lot on our logistics, hopefully now incorporating some of our fluid trucks, which you're just about to see go past there, and some of our trains eventually, because we are making 2,560 petroleum coke per minute, and one of our trains will be transporting upwards of 10,000 petroleum coke per trip. We'll be going over here from the very northeast coast of the Spire Coast down to the Rocky Deserts, and as you might be able to tell, I've worked on a couple things off camera. Firstly, I've removed our little walkway above here, and I've now replaced it with some stairs and an actual walkway rather than just foundations. I've also replaced all the walls. Before, this was essentially just hollowed out and it didn't look very nice because I wasn't designing that to be viewable, hence the reason why it looks rather vile. I've also gone ahead and added in a couple more of these walkways up here, just like so. The reason as to why I did this was because our train couldn't actually fit underneath where I put all the foundations, because originally this was never designed to actually have a train go straight through it. Now we've got trains, I had to rework a few things, but honestly I don't mind the way it looks. However, today's stream isn't going to be focusing on trains. That's most likely going to be in our next stream tomorrow, which will be our last stream until the, I think, 11th of May. So, yeah. Got a triple unskippable ad. Just exit the stream, then refresh it again. Hopefully it'll go away. It shouldn't be a triple unskippable ad. Hopefully not, at least. So, the plan's going to be to get all of our heavy oil residue from that part of the factory, bring it over to here. And I've also got, I think, a little bit here. Actually, I don't have any over here. No, I'm using this for fuel. But yes, bring it over to this building, where I'm already making a bunch of plastic. And right behind over there, I have actually got some room for heavy oil residue. So let's do that. Hopefully everything will go nice and smooth. I don't think I'm going to need another fluid truck. I could have another fluid truck. But do I want one? Not really. Also, have I got the room for it? I don't really think so. Here we have got the room. I could try and do something similar over on the other side, but I don't know if I necessarily want to. So for now, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I have got some more room down the side here, but again, I like just the way it looks as of right now. Obviously, it's not finished. I want to try and add in some more lights and finish the ceiling. I haven't had time to really do anything. But regardless, today, let's work on that. Let's get all of our heavy oil residue over here first. We'll bring it underneath our logistics floor, which I should be able to access if I just go straight down. Let's see where our refineries are. There we go. So we'll bring our heavy oil residue down here. I don't know where it's going to come from. Well, I suppose it has to be here. Although, I mean, you're pretty much as packed as they go. So I might have to do another indent somewhere over here. Also, I've got to try and finish this as well. There's tons to do. Tons to do today. It should be really good fun as well. I'm hoping it'll be good fun. I can try and make it somewhat symmetrical. So you're about 1.5 foundations in on this side. So can I try and line it up with something here? Yes, that looks pretty good to me. So I think this is where my heavy oil residue is going to be coming in from. I can then go ahead and remove all of this. It is going to be slightly finicky. That's to be expected. I'm not expecting this to be a completely flawless and problem-free job. But that's fine. If anything, I actually prefer that. Right, okay, so you start here, do you? Interesting. And then I think you're fine, I would say. Yeah. Okay, you can actually stay then. Although I don't love how there's a small gap. Oh, the gap's gone. Okay. Never mind. Then you have to come up slightly. Then what have I got here? You are also asphalt. Right. And I want to try and line you up with this. I can. But I hope that everyone's doing well in the chat, whether you guys are watching live or if you're watching on the VOD. Still awesome to have everyone tuning in as always. That has to go slightly, and so does that. You're actually fine, so I'll leave you for now. Then connect this up. Okay. Next part of the process is then to add this here. There. It's a slight half nudge out, which honestly, do I want? I'll say yes, because otherwise I'll then have to move. Actually, I can just move that in all fairness. Let's see. Yes, I want you to be there. Like so. Good. Doing well, how am I? Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. It's been a rather chaotic few days, but yeah, not too bad. As good as they go, I suppose. Okay, then try and build this up here slightly, and then move you back as well. All of this is going to have to go because this wasn't designed for this project. Luckily, I have actually redesigned my conveyor belt highway, but that was after I've placed these down. Because the original part of this project was only supposed to be a 4 or 5 day sort of job, and that's about it. But now, because of the way that I'm expanding everything, I'm most likely going to be out here for a month, maybe a bit longer than that. So now I've got to make sure that everything is up to those sort of standards, which it will be, because why not? If I have the opportunity to do something right, just do it. Like, if it's that simple, just do it. Okay, so you come down there by 1 meter. That's completely fine. Eat you up over there as well. I think you were concrete though, weren't you? You weren't coated concrete. You're also too low. Did I not place it there? There we go. That's what I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. Oh, whoops. And come out by 1 more there as well. And then, yes. Okay, so that's correct. Although I seem to have placed somehow the foundation into here, which is annoying because now I've got to remove this. Is the line going to go back to where it was? No. Oh, dearie me. What a day. That's better. Honestly, this is going to be the death of me. And why are you there? I've got to somehow move them so that they're not overlapping the road either. That should be fine. I am going to create a very small gap in here though. Just so I can get up and down nice and simply. And what did I just remove there? It was you two, wasn't it? If I bring you down by 1, then bring you forwards. So from this angle, that looks fine. There's a very small gap in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. From this angle, everything is fine. How about underneath? Oh, okay. Looks okay. Okay, so we can keep this for now. All these small details I can do another day. Again, because I'm going to be playing Satisfactory off camera for the next, or at least few weeks, I'm hoping to get a good amount of progress done. Fingers crossed. You don't come out far enough. Although you are lined up with that, so you know what that is going to do. I don't like how these are sticking out. And bring you forwards by 1 there as well. Not bad. There was a sign here now as well, wasn't there? 2,000 plastic per minute. Yeah. Oh, wait. I apparently did not select that. Hello. There we go. Thank you. Welcome, Low Taper Fade. Right. Welcome. What am I going to do with 2,500 petroleum coke? I'm going to be using it as part of my aluminium factory. Which if I very quickly get this up on screen. Don't worry if the screen's black. It'll be black just for a few seconds. I can show you my workings out for it. There we go. So essentially, I'm using petroleum coke in our aluminium factory. And this is how I'll be making it. So 188 heavy oil residue, 500, and then all of these just joined together, which will be making all of our petroleum coke. And then it'll be used for things like, where is it? There we go. To make our aluminium scrap. So our solution, which is the bauxite and water, combines with our coke to then produce the scrap. Now, 2,500 petroleum coke might seem like a lot, and I suppose in some sense it is a lot. However, it's nowhere near what I actually need, which is slightly concerning, but not dreadful news because it's actually very simple to make. I am purely making our coke today from the heavy oil residue, which is a byproduct. So essentially, the way I'm seeing this is that I'm getting the 2,500 coke for free. Also, I need to use my heavy oil residue, because the problem is, which I'm also getting from my plastic and rubber factory down here. The problem is, if I don't use my excess heavy oil residue, it then means that I can't produce any rubber, because our refinery is just blocked. It's got too much heavy oil residue in. If I can't produce enough rubber, it then means that I can't make enough plastic, and our fuel is just going to be backing up, which isn't very good. If I can't make, for example, our 2,000 plastic, that then means that I can't make our 1,000 batteries, which requires a 2,000 plastic. If I can't make the 1,000 batteries, I can't power my drones, and if I can't power the drones from my nuclear facility, we're going to have a meltdown. All of that stems from me using the exact amount of heavy oil residue. If I, let's say, use 1 or 2 less heavy oil residue than what I actually need, that can cause a meltdown. It would take a while, granted, yes, but it will cause a meltdown. So if my workings out aren't right, then I'm screwed. Luckily, everything is correct, is what I'm going to convince myself. And in regards to making more heavy oil residue to then make more petroleum coke, which is what I'm going to need, that's not too bad. There's, well, if you look at the map, I don't know why I'm trying to explain it, I can literally just show you a map. Down here is where I'm planning to build my aluminium facility. All my bauxite will be coming in via a train down here. And over here on this island, we have all of our crude oil. I'm hoping the rest of this crude oil over here, and potentially a little bit more dotted around the map, can then be used to make all of our coke. Simple as that. It shouldn't be anything overcomplicated. But the reason why I'm not building my factory on top of this area is because it looks too nice to build my factory on. I want to try and keep this area as a natural, lush sort of area. However, I still want to try and extract the oil. And that's something that I almost like and at the same time dislike about this game. What you'll notice is things like the Spire Coast and the nice parts of the map always seem to have crude oil. It's like the game wants you to ruin the beauty of the map by collecting the oil, and I actually quite like that. How much heavy oil residue is it? It's like 853? Cody Mega Project? Yeah. Yeah. It's 853. What did I say? 853. Oh, welcome, Shoni, by the way. Hope that you're doing good. Oh dear, the funny thing is I keep on typing HOI rather than HOR. HOR stands for heavy oil residue. HOI is hearts of iron. Why do I keep typing hearts of iron? This is not hearts of iron. Very different game. Anyway. It won't be packaged, it'll just be the regular fluid. I don't normally like transporting fluids from a far distance like that, but honestly, tough. It's only 853. Can I try and squeeze it into 2 pipes? I think 3. We'll do 3 pipes. One of which would be for you lot. Yeah. Yes. Because the reason why I want to do that is because when it comes to our 500 heavy oil residue, that makes 1,500 petroleum coke. It's a 1:3 ratio. And the way that I'm going to be loading all of my petroleum coke onto my trains, or my freight cars at least, is by roughly 500s. So for example, that's 564. There would be 3 of these for 500, and that would be 487.5. So it's roughly 500 each. If I try and combine all of these together, it's going to be a bit weird. Or is it? No, just leave it the way it is. I'm not going to mess around with it now. I've already thought of an idea and a design. I do this too much. I think of a design, it's good, I then change it. The change I often make is better, but it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Anyway, so I'm having 3 pipes come down here. I don't think I'm going to stack them on top of each other. If I did, it would then save space in our conveyor belt highway. I could then squeeze it into here, and it then means I can fit all of my rocket fuel coming down here, and potentially other resources as well. Well, I'm convinced. There we go. I am stacking it then. Yeah, we'll do this. Have you come up like that? I'm doing good. I'm not doing too bad. It's been a fun day. The weather is still nice. I'm very surprised, but I don't want to jinx it. As of right now, though, the weather is most certainly tolerable. Let's change our pipes now to the purple because we are using heavy oil residue today, rather than blue because that's for water. You don't have to paint your pipes in the resource that you use. The reason I do it is because I just find it a bit easier. Okay, you do go through the foundation there, but because there's a 2-meter gap, you're not going to be going through the roof onto the road. Although you do go straight through the sign. Right. Second idea. What if I do this? Sure. That doesn't look awful. I've made worse. I've absolutely made worse. In fact, speaking of, I was actually very tempted last night to record a video of my top 5 worst factories, where I just go through all the factories I've made in this game and rank them from best to worst. Because I've made some shocking builds. Absolutely diabolical, borderline, like, war criminal style factories. That'll be quite fun one day. I'm sure there's a couple of factories I made in this playthrough that I don't like. I think the coal power plant was a bit of a kerfuffle. But it doesn't necessarily look bad. It needs some attention, needs some time drawn towards it to finish it off. Because it's still not finished. But I need to move on to rocket fuel. I'm 700 plus hours into this playthrough. I need to just get onto rocket fuel now. It's becoming ridiculous at this point. First things first, I think what I'm actually going to do is plop down this pipeline support first, because it makes it slightly easier. You're too far out. So are you, yep. Okay. I'm hoping today's stream is going to be about 2 hours long, maybe a bit longer if I can. That'd be quite nice. And I want you there. Come around here. Oh, okay. I can just about squeeze in here. Which doesn't actually help massively. Add you here just for now. In fact, I might as well just finish off this area in here. I don't really want to be revisiting this in the future. I'm squeezing through there. Now, how can I actually get out of here? I think I might as well just do that. There we go. Do you know if you can keep it at daytime? Unfortunately not. Honestly, I've been saying that for 3 years, maybe. How much I've wanted a feature in this game where you can just keep it to day. You can download a mod. I'm pretty sure that can do it. Oh yeah, they can't be used right now because of the experimental, yeah. I don't think there's a way you can do it though. I wish there was. I really, really wish there was. Because at the minute, especially in update 1.1, not necessarily 1.2 as much, but in update 1.1 at least, there was quite a few mods that were added as actual gameplay mechanics and features, and I think that's a really good idea. If people are really enjoying these mods, rather than just copying and pasting them into the game and saying it's an official feature, what they're actually doing is making them slightly better in some ways, and I really like that. That's a shame. I remember designing this just a couple days ago and thinking, oh, that doesn't look too bad. It's going to have to move now. Oh well. Heavy oil residue is more important. Unless there's a way I could... No. I could build the heavy oil residue pipes going above these conveyor belts, but the problem with that is I don't trust pipes at all in this game. Whatsoever. So it's actually going to be easier for me, both physically and mentally, if I just do this. It shouldn't take longer than a couple minutes. Tune back in half an hour when I'm still working on this. Okay. Where's our heavy oil residue coming in from? I suppose that's the very first thing I should probably try to work on. That's 188. Right, so you're in a standalone pipe. You're not combining with anything. That's good to know. I suppose I want to try and just pipe you down to there. And yeah, I'll leave you here for now because we've also got a 500 heavy oil residue pipe coming down here as well. And I think what I want to try and do is have that be the one that's on the foundation level, then the 188 be just above that, then lastly the 100 and what is that? 50 162.5, whatever it is. Yeah, 162.5 heavy oil residue then be at the very top. There we go. And I would like if I can try and just line you up straight away here. Although, rather than being side by side, it would make more sense if it was directly lined up so that I can just pipe up from here. All I have to do is just that. There we go. There's no point overcomplicating something that's already overcomplicated. And the reason why it's overcomplicated isn't because the game's made it overcomplicated. It's because I do it to myself. However, I love it. I love overcomplicating things all the time. That's probably a bit too wide. It's fine. Although you're going to be on the bottom, aren't you? Okay, I've got a better idea. Again, what was I just talking about? The whole overcomplicating thing. You're going to go this way, and now you're actually going to get removed. What I can then do is bring you down using the horizontal to vertical mode. One of the best building modes in the... no. One of the best building modes in the game. Bring you up by 2. Sometimes my geniusness is just beyond scary. And using straight mode, just do that. Why are you grey? Good. The last one now is going to be 37.5, 125 combined together. It sucks. Yeah, it does, yeah. And I believe the remainder of the heavy oil residue is either on this side and that side as well. I don't actually know. I've marked where they are. I don't know where they are. Maybe it's not this side, actually. Are they all around the other side? That's fine, because I want all 3 of the pipes to combine together to form a 162.5. Because that's such a normal number. How much heavy oil residue? 162.5. I've already combined them? Are you kidding me? No way I've already done that. I didn't... Oh, right. Wow, well done past me. That wasn't completely idiotic. I didn't know I was actually going to have this plan by the time I combined all these pipes together. That's why I'm slightly surprised. Okay, I'll build you out to here. And I just want to try and see, is there an exact line I want to try and follow here? Not really, because you are going to eventually turn here. I could line you up with this. I think it's exactly in line with that. Why not? Wow. Not bad going. I've done something right. This is weird. Oh, never mind. Oh, no, mind. I've done it. I thought I got the alignments wrong. But no. Horizontal to vertical? Yes. I mean, that does look a little bit weird. But, you know, it's fine. I shouldn't need a pipeline pump here. Because all of those other pipes, they're bringing the heavy oil residue from the refineries above there down. And this is the only time where I think it's gone up. So I shouldn't need a pipeline pump here. Am I still going to add one anyway? No, let's be brave. Let's not do it. Then go 1, 2, 3. We then see where you guys are about to join here. We then go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 2. Then select that. And I'm really hoping that this is going to reach now from this side over to here. Oh, bugger me sideways. We're off by about a meter. Are you kidding me? Are you having an absolute giggle? That's fine. And of course I've placed it in the wrong location. I really hope that's lined up properly. Okay, it is, yeah. Good. We try that again. And again, why are you grey? I think because I might have selected it from somewhere back over there by accident. Oh well. Then you two as well. Good. The plan of action is going to be then to have you hook up to this using straight mode. Same now with that. Luckily for you, you already are going to just go straight. And I can check to see here. That doesn't look straight. It's not, that's why. But like I was going to check until I got it wrong, is to see if the heavy oil residue is actually going to be transported here properly. I'm really hoping it is. Do that, and we'll do that. Good, yep, we've got a decent flow rate. That is lovely. I don't know if it's going to get to 600, but it looks like it's getting it relatively close at least. Fantastic. Almost there. 9 more. 7. Good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So if I remember correctly, 500, 188, 162.5. It goes up. Yes. Fantastico. Why is there a 500 there? I believe that is for the... Yes, the plastic. What am I going to do now with the plastic? Because I still don't know where this is actually going to go, so a part of me almost doesn't want to touch it. Because again, I don't know what I'm doing with it. It's most likely going to be transported via a drone. Where from? Oh well, that's good. First part done. I will double check. There is definitely heavy oil residue here. Oh, don't you dare do that. Why? Why is there always one that does this? Every single time. Good now? Thank you. Yes, the reason why I do want to try and double check that is because if at the very start you haven't got the liquid or the solid being transported, then just fix it straight away. Luckily with a solid, it's very easy to see. Well, clearly we've got plastic here because I can see the plastic. Whereas with a liquid, unless you're using the regular pipelines where you can see that there might be some liquid in there, you have to actually click to make sure. I'm using the clear pipelines because they're just nicer looking for me. Why are you lot not being painted? Maybe I've got to try and change it to standard, although I don't really want to do that. There we go. All I have to do is just middle click that, and then hopefully it's going to bring over the right color scheme. Yep, good. Tomorrow's stream is going to be another Satisfactory one. I'm still really enjoying Star Rupture. But I don't know if it's more of an off-camera game, potentially. I like to have a good mix between games anyway, so... I did say that as well I was going to stream some... Well, I floated the idea around, at least, to stream some Subnautica. Because I have Subnautica. I've played it. I don't think I've ever streamed on this channel. But I have played it before. I don't know how far I got. It felt like I didn't get that far. I definitely didn't finish the game. I was nowhere near finishing the game. I don't know how many trophies I got, but I know it wasn't that many either. But from my experience, it was rather enjoyable, and it's definitely a game I think worth streaming. I might have to refresh myself on what the game actually is. I know the rough gist of it, but a quick refresher wouldn't go astray. There we go. Are we gaining plastic? Yeah, we are. Okay, good. I thought for a second our plastic wasn't going up, but I have got at least one dimensional depot for it, so it should be going up. Was the pun intended? To be fair, that wasn't actually a pun. And I very rarely use the saying floated around the idea. I feel like my brain just played a pun on me there. Like, when was the last time I said floating around the idea? Years ago, probably. Well, probably not years ago, but definitely a while ago. Ugh. Why do you look like that? What is that? Oh, I know what that is. That was the piece that was there, but then I copied it and pasted it over here, just in case I didn't like what I built over there, but it's fine. It's not going to win any prizes for looking gorgeous, but it wins the prize in my heart for looking tolerable. What more do you want, really? Oh, okay. Good. That's our first section of pipes done. Honestly, the fact that has taken us less than half an hour. If you guys are new to the channel, you might be thinking, well, yeah, half an hour to bring some pipes from point A to point B a couple hundred meters away, that's not impressive. But if you're a regular on the channel, this is a very rare occurrence. Because normally I'll spend the first 20 minutes doing something that isn't related to what I want to try and get done. And then I'll somehow get distracted. Although, again, we are only half an hour into the stream. It's extremely early days. But for our standards, we're not off to a bad start. There we go. Lovely. Then connect all this together. Oh! Pipe is too long? I mean, the pipe's too long. If the conveyor belt can reach, the pipe can bloody well reach as well. Pipe too long. Are you having a laugh? Oh, because you're not in the right spot. How many times today am I going to make the same mistake? 100 more. 200 more. How about now? Oh, wow. Would you look at that? It's the exact right length. It's almost like it's designed to be that long. And you're a bit shorter, just so you're lined up with that. And there we go. Okay, great. So all of our heavy oil residue is now coming through to here. Maybe I should have squished it over there to the left. I've got nothing else coming down here, though. This factory isn't big enough for anything else. And our coke isn't exiting from there. It's exiting from there. Right. The very first thing that I want to try and do, and again, I was discussing this in our last stream, last Satisfactory stream. Do I want to try and make these plastic belts and rubber belts slightly more uniform? And by that, what I mean is get these two belts, I forgot the word there for a minute, get them two belts and somehow centralize them with this rubber belt over here. Rather than having that there, and that there, then multiple different heights. I don't know. Essentially what I'm trying to say is there's a way I can make this look a little bit nicer. And I'm absolutely down for trying to do that. You're probably fine. You lot, I want to move, I said. And the good thing is, each one of these 4 plastic conveyor belts is carrying exactly 500 plastic. So it's not like I'm messing around with the logistics, like what I've just been doing there with 500, 188, and a 162.5. If I was to mess around with these logistics, it won't work. Whereas this, it just does. I want to start with this. Firstly, get rid of that. It's nice to see that we have got some rubber travelling along there. It's always nice to see. Then what I want to try and do, if I can try and find one, there we go. I was looking for a conveyor lift. There are literally dozens over here. I'm looking around. Where's the next conveyor lift? Where is it? Because I'm too lazy to look through the menu here, and then just, where is it even? Just get that. Even though that's a Mark 1, obviously I'm not using Mark 1s. Okay, there we go. That's nice and straight. What's that? Are you going that direction? You are, yes. Good. So I don't have to worry about that. In that case then, how am I going to do this? Because you lot are both going to be directly on top of each other. You're actually going to be moved, I think. Yes. I just like everything being nice and uniform. It doesn't have to be. But watching it just... No, it looks nicer. Rather than trying to break it down, I just think it looks nicer. That's the main reason. Direction-wise, I do want you to rotate slightly off to here. And then line you up precisely there. I think that's okay. Although, straight mode yet again is acting up and not being straight. Straight as a roundabout. I'll try and line you up with... Oh. I won't do that then, that's fine. With this. I'll have you come in there. Good. Jolly good. Height-wise... No, I think height-wise you're actually fine. I could bring you further forwards there, but that's just, there's no point for that. That won't change anything. Plastic, you're going to be directly above here. Whoops. It'd be nice if I didn't lose control of my mouse halfway through trying to do logistic work. Got a mind of its own, I think. I just realised this actually might look a little bit nicer. Yeah, for my standards, it's basically a miracle. See, I'm liking the way this looks already. Good. In fact, I could even try and elevate this here as well, because there's no reason why you should actually be on the ground floor. You're fine. You're... fine. You could actually be elevated, but then you'll combine with that. I don't want you to collide at all. So now for you two. How am I going to get you over to here? In a reasonable manner. I think I might have an idea. I'm unsure until I've executed it though. No. Already messed up. That's fantastic. 1, 2. Bring you back by 2. Make sure that you're 3 high there. And... Ooh. This is going to be tough to solve. But does it have to be? Because this... plastic line right here. What if you did that? Essentially what I'm doing here, viewers, is I'm problem solving a problem that wasn't a problem until I made it a problem. Yep. Oh no. Oh, you're half nudged. That's right. I forgot. See, it's not my fault. It is my fault. Then I chuck you up there. You look tolerable to my eyesight. If only I can bring you this way. Yeah, that's a good idea, because if I do that, we'll then have these two available. Then you two can just slot in there. Absolutely, that's a good idea. Okay, we've done it. You are the start, middle, and end of our problem, which I caused myself. Just a reminder. Yeah. Half nudge you this way. Same thing here now as well. Okay, good. How is this part going to look? I'm not necessarily concerned because it's a video game, but I'm intrigued to see how that's going to... I mean, if I have to, I have to. Some sacrifices have to be made. And if that's a sacrifice, then so be it. You are then going to come up to, we'll say there, maybe a bit further back. There's no point in squeezing it in. To here. Nope. There we go. Everything is pretty much lined up now. In 2 lines. 2.5 if you count that, but we're not going to for the sake of my own sanity. Of course, it would have made more sense if I had nudged this slightly over to there. But we don't talk about that. Also, wait. Something here's not right. Firstly, I don't think you're straight. That's better. Okay, good. Such a non-issue. But we fixed it. You lot, you are yet again half nudged in the wrong area, which is fine. I mean, it greatly pisses me off, but other than that, it's completely fine. Luckily, I think you're actually going to be just about in line with that. Oh, I think you might actually encroach it slightly. We'll see. Let's see how that's going to go. Right. Then chuck that down there. Using our favorite tool. Great stuff as always on the Valhalla Pickle YouTube channel. You actually come in that way. Okay. So the way that I probably want to do this is as follows. Half nudge for that. First one is going to be there. 1, 2. 1, 2. There we go. How is that going to look? No. There. I mean, that's as close as we can get to the wall, which is what I've done over there. So that's worked out stupendously. Hello? I didn't half nudge it. Wait, what? What is going on? Why can't I nudge? There we go. Can that work, please, for this? I don't know if that was my keyboard acting up. Oh well. Good. I think it looks a bit weird, but it's pipes. What can I do? most importantly, do you bypass that? You do if I half nudge you, because in theory, I don't think that's actually lined up, whereas this is. Then if I continue with this, you're going to encroach over the conveyor belt highway. Conveyor belts, even. Okay. Interesting stuff as always. Pop down a couple of these stackable pipeline supports. And somewhere down here, what I could try to do is this. Because this is actually not straight. You can see it's not straight. Which actually makes it a bit worse. I don't know what else to do. Oh well. That is most unfortunate. What I could actually do, just thinking out loud here, if I just move everything here, literally just half a nudge to the left, that will then solve that problem. And we can then fit all 3 of the pipes along there. That's intriguing to me. Very tempting to do. Honestly, is it worth it? Yeah, let's just do it. Just do the right thing, isn't it? Say there. Then, no, I can't go there. 1, 2? Is that fine? I think so, yeah. It should be okay. Okay. I'll select this. And as I just said, half nudge this. And let's see how this is going to go. Bring you to there. Bring you to there. That is pretty good, actually. Yet again, horizontal to vertical mode. Striking. As always. Alright, so it means that you're going to be slightly off-center. That's fine, actually. Although that's not fine. There we go. I don't know what other videos to record before I go, because as of right now, I'm going to be here, or I've got 3 videos planned, and I'm not going to be here for 4 weeks, 5 weeks maybe? So if I can try and get one video out, let's say every Saturday morning or Friday night, one video a week, which isn't too bad. Worst problems to solve? I know, it's small problems like that. But the thing is, I've caused it myself. That's what makes it worse, actually. In fact, one thing I forgot to say, speaking about problems that are terrible to solve, is that yesterday, after I did my Star Raptor stream, because I streamed so early, I had so much of the day left, so I decided to reorganize my... I thought my game just crashed. Reorganize my office. You can't see it in the background. I've got like a little Chinese panda thing that I think we got from China. I don't know. It was definitely made in China, I can tell you that much for a fact. I've redone my office, and I've actually designed a little... Well, it's an IKEA shelf, but it's a shelf that has my Harry Potter stuff in it, or my Lego Harry Potter stuff, and it doesn't look too bad. I'm not really, like, massively into Lego... sorry, I'm not massively into Harry Potter, but I like the Lego of it. So sometimes what will happen was I build the Lego, and then I'll watch the movie, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I've made that from Lego once. Oh, see, you're a bit too far forwards. But how are you too far forwards, but then you're not? Riddle me this. Okay, and also, how far forward actually are you? The question is, if I was to half nudge that, would I get away with my crimes? Let's try. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't do it to the right height. I don't need to half nudge it. There we go. That's much better. Yep. Oh, that's kind of frustrating though. What I'm going to do then is this. Get rid of that. Get rid of this, because I don't like how you're just slightly poking out of there. Then reposition you. Stop. Reposition you there. Redesigning. Yeah, I thought why not? I have to every once in a while because I like to clean my office. But the problem is when I clean my office, part of me is like, oh, what if that shelf went over there? What if that table was actually in that corner? And then before you know it, everything's just in a different place. But the way that I've got it now, I think, is the best it's been. Luckily, on camera, there's a very little difference. Except for one shelf that was there is now in front of me. That is basically the only on-camera difference. Okay, right. How far can you come out, actually? That's a good question. You can come out to there. Okay. We'll do that. I wouldn't mind if you lined up with this. Yeah, let's do that. Why are you grey? Is that lined up? Yes. Also, you actually were correct. Whoops. There we go. Let's continue. I do like pandas, but at the same time, you do wonder how they survive for so long out in the wild. They do just seem a little bit useless. I know that I'm sure they're vicious in some regards, right? But at the same time, you do see the videos from China, or even just zoos of pandas just being unique. Let's just say that. They're being unique. Like some creatures like bears, you can imagine how they will survive. Lions and cheetahs. The panda? Maybe no natural predators? I don't know. What would have been a predator to a panda? I suppose leopards, right? Do they have leopards out in East Asia? I think they do, right? They have tigers. I know they have tigers in India. They have huge tigers in India. But then at the same time, I don't think there were pandas in India there either. Okay, so we've got the heavy oil residue there. Now it's probably a good time to try and plop down our refineries. And I haven't actually got too much in the way of actually designing how these refineries are going to look. I wanted to sort of make this up as I went along, which often goes so well, doesn't it? It's such a good thing for me to try and do. It's definitely not an absolutely dreadful idea that I regret every single time I do it, rather than planning ahead. At the same time, I don't like planning everything. It gets a bit boring after a while. Inputs, outputs, I like that. Try and centralize it if we can. You're good over there. You're actually inside the wall over there, so I can't have it both ways. That's fine. You're fine the way you are. How close can I get you over there? That's probably as far as I can go. I could try and squeeze in one more refinery here. But let's see how much petroleum coke I can make per refinery. And if I've got enough room. I've got tons of room. Is it enough? Today we find out. Also, I don't necessarily love this blueprint. Because there's a few things I'm going to have to remove from it, which is fine. It's just, you know. I can't... Actually, should I make it in the blueprint designer? It would take 4 seconds to do. Yeah, I will. Because I'm going to be using this, not just today, but the next time that I then need petroleum coke and heavy oil residue further down the line, so it's going to be worth making. But you can... Oh, wow. You can make 120 per one, so I'm only going to need, like, what, 20 of these? Because 10 is 1,200, 20 is 2,400, so 22 to 25. Okay, that can definitely fit in here, right? Because this row right here, that's 17. It will fit. If I have to overclock, I will. But let me tell you, it pains me to overclock things now. Before, I didn't mind. Because when I'm just collecting the occasional power slug, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't mind overclocking. It's not going to actually affect me in any way. But now, knowing that I'm going to have to use thousands of slugs for this project, I'm far more hesitant to use them. Can I just select the blue? Thank you. Sometime today would have been nice. Right. Let me just chuck in... What was it? This one? It doesn't really matter. I'll paint you the correct color to begin with. Thank you. And then get rid of this. Good. Making sure that you are producing petroleum coke. Good. Oh, the sun setting on the first day. We managed to get like a good hour from that day. That was nice. Wait, we managed to get an hour? We're 57 minutes into the stream. By the time I started my stream, it was already dawn. So does that mean that the days last for 60 minutes now? I thought the days lasted for 45 minutes and the nights for 15. But we've now been live for an hour, well, 57 minutes. And now this is the very... Well, it's not even dark yet, technically. It's getting there, though. Unless it was just dark. Am I losing it, chat? Is this now the dawn of a new day?
Please remember to stay within your designated zone as stated in your contract.
Thank you, Ada. Yeah.
Violation of this contract will result in serious consequences should you survive.
I think this is the dawn of a new day. I must have just not been paying attention then. Fair enough. Okay, so here we are producing again our polymer resin. It's our first design. Polyres. Times 2 because there's 2 refineries, and refineries because it's refineries. Good. In fact, I'm actually going to change the name of this. I'm going to change it to Polyres, because I've already got a picture of a refinery. All I have to do is just use my eyesight. Then I'm going to say how much I'm producing in this blueprint. So this is going to be 240 per minute. Might as well just put the PM in there just in case. 2x for the amount of refineries. 001 for the first variant. Although I shouldn't need that in theory. I'm still going to add it anyway, but this makes a bit more sense. Because there's no point saying, hey, I've got refineries going on here. Literally an image of it right there. So that's good to me. The colour can just stay because I've already got the colour for all of my logistics. I'm just using the fix-it secondary. Interesting. Anyway, you can... Actually, you know what? I might as well paint you the right colour whilst I'm here. Right? Save myself the 0.3 seconds. Lovely. Don't lose power. Don't you dare. Blueprint saved. Okay, now I should be able to get rid of this. Oh, look at that for an entrance. Damn. It's not bad going, is it? Bloody hell. That looks lovely. I am about to butcher it by adding in all these refineries here. In fact, you know what? Is it too nice for me to do this now? Okay. I was just going to add all my refineries this way. But now I'm wondering. Firstly, can I chuck in some refineries along there? Because I might be able to fit 4 in here. Rather than the 2 that I just had previously. Or the 3 that I might be able to squeeze in. I will then have to move this slightly. Nothing crazy. Just reposition that so that our conveyor lift can come out this side. That's only if this actually works. Which I don't see why it wouldn't. And even though they're producing 2 different things, it doesn't actually matter because they're all painted to look the exact same. Polymer resin. There we go. Blueprint mode, just snap it onto there. And you can then be positioned like what? Like this? Inputs that side, outputs that side. I can accept that. I can. It does seem like I can only fit 1 more refinery into here. Which isn't a problem. I'm going to do that and then just remove everything on this side basically. Which won't be a bother. Only a drama if you make it a drama. Just like so. And luckily enough, you don't actually overlap with this logistic work over here. That is fantastic news. Yeah. Because our heavy oil residue can now come down this way. And I'm hoping using the horizontal to vertical mode, I should be able to snap it onto here and give it a good rotation maybe. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Overall though, I would say that is a pretty good success there. Now I repeat on this side. And how many are you producing? That's 360 petroleum coke there. Okay. Not bad. Outputs this way. Good. Of course, it does mean that this path's going to go. I mean, that's fine, honestly. Just a path. And the same logistic work to be done underneath here now, where this part can go. I don't want to get rid of all of it, however. It's still going to be relatively crucial to some extent. You can stay, you can go. Why are you floating? Good. Hammer-wise, this is going to be extremely simple to connect. You've all now got power, congratulations. And now you've all got your power. Wow. Just to make sure that you definitely have got your power, right? Yeah, okay, good. I was fairly sure, but it's always nice just to double check because you never truly know. Okay. 360 there. 360 there. That's 720 capacity. That's obviously quite a lot. I don't need 720 for anything. In case you guys have just tuned in, this is the maths. I can either make 564 or 487.5. Now, the heavy oil residue pipe at the very top is for this. It's to make the 487.5. So I think what I'm going to do is this. 487.5 minus 360 leaves us with 127.5. I'm then going to go ahead and come over here. Damn. I'm going to have to use a gosh darn power shard. Just for 7.5. This will then mean that you four... In fact, let me just color code this, just so I can see. This will change eventually, but for a visual reminder for myself, this just makes it a bit easier to try and see what's connecting into what. You four will then all combine heavy oil residue pipe wires and conveyor belt wires to then give me... Holy... Then give me 564 petroleum coke. Let's go ahead and do that now. If I can get this out the way... That'd be great. The second thing that I want to try and do, and actually I really want to do it now as well, is try and find where our asphalt flooring is going to be and drag that across here. Just like that. And now zoop that across. Good. I want to leave a slight gap here because of the way that I've done my design. Bear in mind, this is probably going to be my only logistics floor that's visible from the outside. Normally you can access my floors for the logistics, but never normally is it this visible. This one clearly is. So I have to try and make sure that I go out of my way here to make it as perfect as I can. They normally are relatively neat, as you might have seen from my rocket fuel factory logistic floor. You can't actually access that unless you destroy a foundation or whatever, whereas this you can, so it's nice to maintain a level of, I suppose, just visual pleasure when it comes to the logistic floor. I think that's lined up. You seem to be half a nudge out. Maybe not. Okay, good, you're not. I really didn't want to have a half nudge, which is technically a, yeah, 50 centimeters, isn't it? I think a nudge is a meter. Yeah, half nudge is 50 centimeters. And an 8-meter foundation just sticking out like that? Yeah, no thanks. You are going to be nudged slightly, nothing drastic, just a 4-meter nudge there. Good stuff as always. Oh, welcome Kacham, welcome back. Hope that you're doing good. You're just in time for some more logistical fun. Hopefully fun. I haven't finished it yet, so I can't confirm if it is fun or not, but seems fun so far. I'm not going to end the stream until we finish it, so if I finish it. I'm not expecting it to take too long, but so far it has taken us an hour just to try and get our heavy oil residue out here, so already taken longer than I thought, but it's satisfactory. Everything always takes longer than I think. Good. Oh yeah, of course, Fixit had to approve of my fun, but I think they're fine with it. Maybe. Nope, there we go. So a couple more zoops and we should be fairly done. I'm most likely going to immediately destroy one of these foundations. Oh, nice. Destroy one of these foundations just so I can see what I'm doing. But it's nice to have this in place just so I can see where the floor actually is. Because believe it or not, seeing where the floor is kind of important. There we go. That looks nice and neat. I'm jolly happy with that. Of course, we are going to have some walls here eventually, but I'm not going to add the walls or actually decorate the interior of this at all, except for this asphalt floor, until I've finished what I want to try and do in here. Because there's no point doing all the decoration before actually building the logistic part. Because what if you have to try and rip something up? Then that's just ages of work gone. Okay, let's start this. As I say, I'm going to get rid of this. Then select you. Which again is going to be the... No, actually you're the 162.5 actually. Yes, you're 162.5. I'm still going to use this. I want you to go up straight away. Yes, I do. Yes, yes, yes. It then means I shouldn't actually have to overclock the one that I literally just overclocked, which is fantastic news. I get to save one power shard out of the 1,800 that I'm going to use for this project. Wow! Fantastic news. Anyway, 360 minus No, sorry. 400. Wait, what? 487.5 minus 360. Wait, no, I've done that right. Oh, no, I have done it right, actually. No, it doesn't matter. Cancel the applause. It turns out I did actually calculate the right thing. I thought what I did was this. I thought I did the math to the 188, but I don't think I did. I think I did the math to this one, which is the one I'm actually going to be doing now. Oh, well. So much petroleum coke is because I use petroleum coke for my aluminium recipes. I use it to make my scrap. So rather than using coal, which I can still use coal, I could use both coke and coal, but I prefer coke because I like coke. Wait, sorry. I like to use petroleum coke in my Satisfactory recipes. To my FBI agent listening in, I don't like coke. Anyway. T section. Sorry, T junction. My apologies. Now you can just go straight through my conveyor belt. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, you... It's fine. What I'm going to do here instead... I can't do that. This could work. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but it will work. You're straight. You're not straight. I'm sorry, that's straight. There we go. Therefore, I can get rid of this, actually. And do that. It's not the prettiest looking thing, but I'm hoping it will work. Also, down here, I think what I am going to do is actually start to add in our pipeline pumps. That seems like it's more than 10 meters. Even if it's not, I'm still going to add it anyway, because might as well. We'll get a Mark II in here, because I'm just that generous. Also, I don't like the look. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I like the look of the Mark I. It's a very pleasant to look at pump. At the same time, it is rather large, whereas the Mark II variant is far smaller, more compact. I like it in that regard. That is... wow. Why can't I build straight things? Not that difficult. So you lot connect, then you connect. That should then start to pump all of our heavy... Wait, you're already up here? Oh, okay. So apparently I didn't need that. No, I don't trust that. I'm happy I did that. Well, yeah. Okay, right. We can now tick this off our list. Where even is it? There it is. I mean, you're already green. I suppose I can paint you slightly darker green. In fact, you know what? Yeah, change that to white. That's all right. Good. The next one. I suppose we can start working on this. It's going to look a little bit weird, but I've got a way I can potentially try and save it. So we are going to need 188 heavy oil residues to then produce 564 petroleum coke. Each one of these can produce 120. Yeah, 120. So I'm going to need 5 refineries for our next part. Why are you green? No, no, no. Monsieur. Monsieur. No. I don't want any heavy oil residue going down there. You two can be connected. Not you. Sorry. Why am I apologizing to a literal pipe? I've lost my mind, honestly, playing this game. Anyway. In case it's not evident I've lost my mind. I know, I've been really keeping that one a bit of a secret. So you two are going to be producing 240 petroleum coke. What I'm then going to try and do is plop a couple of these facing... Ooh, facing this way. Yes, facing this way. Elevation-wise, how are we looking? This looks pretty spot on to me. That is nowhere near correct. We are one nudge off. Now, am I okay with the fact that these refineries are going to be rotated at a slightly different angle compared to the rest of these refineries? Yes. Because having everything in the exact same direction is a little bit too much, in my opinion. Whereas just having this the way it currently is, I think looks really nice. But it's nice to have a slight difference. And again, these won't be painted blue and purple, whatever. The only reason I'm doing this is that I can get a very visual clue of what goes where. For example, these purple refineries, I know that they're all part of the same pipe, and these blue refineries will then again all be part of the same pipe. So I do it to help me remember. Remember the 5th of November. I know we've already had this conversation once in the past, but if anyone's watching from the UK, have you ever tried to explain Guy Fawkes Night to someone who isn't from the UK? It makes us sound even crazier than we already are. I say we, I'm not British, but I've lived here long enough. I was born here, so close enough. It's a very weird holiday. But essentially, long story short, there was a geezer named Guy Fawkes, and he wasn't very happy with the monarchy. So one day, he tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. I don't know why... I don't know if the king was there, but anyway, they tried to blow up the House of Parliament, and they got caught. And every year, this was on the 5th of November, hence why we have the saying, remember the 5th of November. And every year, we light a bonfire in our gardens, or at least our communities do normally. I know traditions are dying in this country, which is very sad, but traditionally they would do that. And at the top of the bonfire, they would make a straw version of Guy Fawkes, and then burn the Guy Fawkes straw model to death. So essentially, Guy Fawkes was a terrorist, and we almost, in some ways, celebrate him every year. I know we're not supposed to celebrate the guy that tried to do it, but it does seem like a celebration. You've got the fireworks going, you've got the hot chocolates out, you've got songs going. It's like, it seems a little bit like a celebration. But there you go, that's Guy Fawkes Night. I'm just double checking here with this wall. Is it going to fit? It is fine, I think. Yep. So 5 refineries, 1, 2, 3. Brilliant. So then all 5 of these would then be joining up together. Pipe-wise, I mean, it's as simple as you can get. Just remove, well, not really, but it's because of the work I've put into these blueprints, the 10 minutes it's taken me. All I have to do now, straight mode from there, lines up absolutely perfectly. Then continue these pipes out here. There we go. Oh, rubber. Oh, there's cats fighting outside. Bloody cats. What I might even try and do here with this rubber is... I don't know. Really hated the older date. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I hate myself sometimes. I really do. What I'm going to do is... Oh. Grab that. Get this. Come up by... Is that 4? Well, it looks like 4 to me. It's a bit too far on this side. There. Boom. Please, 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 please. How is that too close? Oh yeah, because it's half nudged, isn't it? Okay. In that case, then, we'll do this. Going back to what I was saying earlier, how I like to overcomplicate everything. This is a prime example. You're still too far to that side, really? How about now? I mean, this is much further than I thought it would have been. Good. Our pipes are then going to run underneath it. Well, not literally run. That would be quite concerning. Grab that. I mean, because you're the 500 pipe, you're most likely just going to end up going down that way. I suppose you both actually are, aren't you? Here. I want it to line up exactly with this. Boom. Greetings, welcome Lotus. Hope that you're doing well today. Now all I have to do is plop down the stackable pipelines directly on top of the regular pipeline supports. And then just have this come around. Like so. Okay, I'm then going to need you to come out as far as you possibly can. Maybe even a bit further, but let's try this for now. Then straight down. Is that going to overlap the pipe? It is, yeah, okay. That's not a problem. If I was to try it from the other side, how would that work? Like this. That would actually just be fine. I don't need to do all this. Good. Again, I know it's a slight overcomplication compared to what was necessary. But it works. Good. All of our pipes are here now as well. This one being the 188, which will be going directly up into there. So let's use the horizontal to vertical. Bring you straight down. Topping it off there with, of course, the pipeline Mark II. Oh, that's quite handy. Look at that for accuracy and lineliness. That's not a real word. Lineliness. Ugh. Sounds like a disease. Anyway. Good. So you three are now connected. In fact, except for the power. Let's do the power actually. Because then you will start to produce our petroleum coke. And what I'm hoping to have happen now is because we've got so much room in here and we don't actually need all of this room, we could then try and decorate it today a little bit. Nothing crazy. That's a wee bit of decoration. That could look quite nice. I don't know what I'm going to decorate it with, if I'm honest, but we'll see as time goes on. There we go. Are you now starting to produce things? No, you haven't got any heavy oil residue. Why? Because there's no heavy oil residue there. Why? Because there's none here. Right, why is that? Because you've got tons, clearly. 0. We checked earlier and there was loads of heavy oil residue there. And clearly there was at some point. Because you are registered as gathering heavy oil residue. Oh, okay, so there's tons here. And nothing there. You know, sometimes it's the smallest of pipes that cause the biggest problems. Oh. Oh no. Fantastic parkour by yours truly. Deary me. Never sign me up to a Satisfactory parkour competition. I don't think they exist, but even if they did, don't invite me. I'll decline. At least you've got heavy oil residue, that's good. So we've now finished the second part of our Petroleum Coke facility, which is jolly good. Now let's move on to the behemoth. That's the wrong one. There we go. So the behemoth, 500 heavy oil residue for 1,500 petroleum coke. 1,500 divided by 120 is 15. Not 15, is it? No. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. The thing is, I'm going to have to try and divide this exactly into 500 petroleum coke. So the way that's actually going to work, if I just very quickly paint you guys the correct colors now that I'm done with both of these circuits, is it's going to be 120, 240, 360, 480, 500. 120, 240, 360. I'll then continue around there. Again, don't worry about the colors. That will all go eventually. It's just I can mentally see what I'm doing. And that's about half. I could probably get away with mimicking this on this side here, then leaving the middle here as something. I really don't know what, because I've got these gaps everywhere. I've got a gap down there, which I think I'm going to transform into some sort of a logistics thing. I don't know. I was going to do a train station down there, but there's just no drones. That could look quite cool having drones land there. But again, drones carrying what? The only other things I'm producing here, other than the plastic which I was working on earlier, is going to be rocket fuel, which is over there somewhere. That could transport packaged rocket fuel. Sorry, I love banging my head against this thing. What else? What else? Drones. Again, okay. Here's my idea. I know I've already got some plastic going on over there. That's fine. It's miles away. But the problem is, where is it? Somewhere here, I'm needing plastic and rubber for something. This is my electronics factory. I'm fairly certain I needed plastic and rubber. No? Up here. There we go, yes. So to make my modular engines, I'm going to need all of the rubber. Every single bit of rubber that I'm making in my entire playthrough is just going to making our modular engines, where I'm going to need 750 rubber and 150 plastic. Here's what I'm thinking. At least 2, maybe 3 drones for our rubber, and then 1 drone for our plastic, because this is all going towards our iron factory. In case you're wondering, everything here is just in one factory. Every wire, cable, stator, reinforced iron plate, rotor, nitric acid, steel beam, automated wiring, heavy modular frame, versatile framework, iron plates, modular engine and motors, as well as, of course, the iron ingots themselves, are all being produced, including tons of concrete, by the way, thousands of concrete, I believe. At least 1,000. Will then be being produced, yeah, at least 1,000, in our iron factory. Or at least very close by. So that could be a good idea. And luckily for me, luckily, unluckily, the rubber and plastic that I'm going to need for this will be coming from the main rocket fuel factory over there. So I can very easily belt that into here. Have our drone ports here, which I'm hoping would actually fit now that I'm sort of yapping. Yep, that was close. That fits really well. Just lower it down a little bit like this. I think that would look really sick. Just having those black steel balls all around here as well. Yeah. Yes, I want this in here. I can fit quite a lot as well. Let's say one. I can't be asked to even find it out, but it's quite a lot. Yeah, no, I have to find out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. If I squeeze them really close together, I can get away with 5. And they actually look really nice being quite close together like that. Would you 5? I don't need 5. I do. I don't. I do. I'm so decisive, aren't I? Like, it's unreal. So that's going to be the plan for this area then. Drones. But I can only get the drones done after I've made... What? Batteries? Yeah. But then I can't do batteries until I've done... like, aluminium. Okay. Okay. Right. Wait, I'm going to need 1,000 heavy ore residue? Although I think I'm actually making that from this, which means I'm actually going to have an additional 500 heavy oil residue from... No, because I'm making that up here already. Just ignore that. Okay. So when it comes to the batteries then, I suppose what I'm going to do is finish off this rocket fuel factory. Then all my plastic and rubber will be done and a good amount of my petroleum coke. Then do a aluminium factory. After the aluminium factory, we then do copper. I think. Have I even got a copper factory? I think I've got a... No, because that's part of the electronics factory. But I can't do electronics until I've done iron. I need 3,000 wire for the batteries. And then I need the batteries for the drones. And then one of those drone ports is going to be delivering batteries to the other drones. I hate maths. Okay. That makes sense. 5 drone ports. 3 of them on rubber. 1 of them on plastic. 1 of them delivering batteries from our battery factory, which I don't know where this is even going to be. Although it would make sense for it to be somewhere near our city in the rocket fuel desert. Wow. In the Rocky Desert. Which is also where I'm building my nuclear waste plant. I don't know, maybe. Oh dear. And then the copper shenanigans with the electronics factory. I mean, what I could even try and do, honestly, is just gather as much copper from the Rocky Desert as possible. Oh wait, no, you need iron, don't you? So you're also part of the iron factory. You don't require copper, of course not. Okay. Here's the plan. Finish rocket fuel, aluminium, iron, battery, nuclear, cancel, electronics, nuclear, or nuclear, however you want to pronounce it, and quantum. Those are the factory. That's the factory list right there. Let me write this down because I will forget by 10 minutes past 6. And why is Billy Joel just been placed in what? How has that happened? I didn't even, you know what? The presence of Billy Joel has clearly impacted the stream because I didn't even... Why did I have that as my... Oh, I know why. I was researching Billy Joel earlier. So rocket fuel. Nice. I love when I get nothing done. It's really productive. So rocket fueled, then we said aluminium. Did we? Tough. Aluminium. Iron. Electronics. Nuclear. Quantum. And I'm pretty sure I am happy with that factory list. Plastic, rubber, petroleum coke. Obviously, again, this is not all the petroleum coke for my playthrough, but it's a good chunk of it at least. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, the batteries. The batteries would be after electronics or before? Before. Yes. Right? I don't need any electronics here. Aluminium, iron, plastic. Aluminium, iron, plastic. Here we go. So I can then use drones for the next part of the electronics, nuclear, and quantum factories. Even what I could do, because the only actual iron that I'm going to need for my batteries is the wire. So what I could do, when I establish my iron factory, the very first thing I make and produce is wire. If I can then get my 3,000 wire from the dune deserts over to the rocky deserts, which is quite a far distance, which I'm most likely going to end up using trains for, or conveyor belts. If I can just do that, I can then use drones for other parts of my iron factory over in the dune deserts, which could be a good idea. Or a terrible idea, I don't know what I'm doing. We're having fun though. Saying that as I'm stressing out about iron ore and wire. No. It's good to stress every now and then. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're out by 4 foundations. Nice. Wait, what? How did that place down? Oh, right, because I was on default. There. Now, what would be rather ideal here is if I can just fit in the remainder of this factory into this position right here. I really don't want to have to use any sort of overclocking, but if I did, it would then give this area here a decent look. What am I going to add into here? I don't know, Jeff. I just don't know. And again, are we doing inputs this side or outputs? In, okay. I was saying copy that over here. I like that. But yeah, thank you again to everyone who's tuning into this stream. Hope that everyone's having a beautiful Friday. Got it first try. Hello VP, welcome Mac. Hope that you're doing good, man. A long-time player and enjoyer of your old recipe videos. Thank you very much. Question, are you now experiencing some trouble when splitters or mergers are placed on lifts not previously encountered with 1.2? If I'm honest, I haven't really been using the conveyor lift splitters and mergers too much recently. I will have to try it out and get back to you, but I hope there's not a problem with it. That would be most unfortunate if there is. Because all I've really done is things like this. I haven't really been doing much of that. Have you checked the Satisfactory Q&A website? Because maybe someone's already reported that problem. And if so, it means that the devs are most likely aware of the problem. But if no one's reported it, then feel free to report it yourself. At least then there's a chance, maybe even a high chance, that a dev will be able to read it. But no, myself personally, we surprisingly haven't actually encountered it. I do want to try and do a few more of the best recipe videos. The problem is though, we've sort of covered everything to some extent. Either directly or indirectly. Why do you not want to snap onto that? There we go. That's weird. I can get away with one more, I think. You do slightly overlap, but honestly, that's not really a problem. That's completely fine. The pipes are visible, then the conveyor belt lifts won't be. Wait, you are as well? I mean, just. Okay, good. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. 1, 2, 3. Which is 360, 480. 500. 120, 240, 360, 480. That would then be 600, but I don't need 600, I need 500. So they're going to be underclocked a little bit, so that's completely fine. 120, 240, 360, 480, 500. Which means we have 4 refineries left. Okay. I think what I'm honestly going to do here is actually paint you the right color to begin with. Like that. All of these refineries here are going to be producing just 500s petroleum coke. So they're going to be massively underclocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 divided by 120. 120 divided by 9 would be slightly easier. 13 point... Oh. I don't like that maths. 120. Okay. $500 divided by 9. Still not nice. Because exactly we are going to need, well, 500 heavy oil residue. In fact, no, we're not. This one's only going to be making 500 petroleum coke. 500 petroleum coke is 166, roughly 167 residue. I just don't like the way these numbers are splitting. 120, 240, 360, 480. Unless U5 only produce, like, what, 4? Oh dear. Worth it. I just hope this doesn't really have an impact on our factory itself. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 plus 120, 240, 360, 480. That's 500. The maths adds up. It's just not accurate. That's fine. You have to be lowered down to 20 as well. And so do you. Yep. Then again, you lot over here try and produce 564 petroleum coke. As of right now, is that correct? I think it's these two, isn't it? 120, 240, 360, 480. Then you should be 84. Good. Lucky that we checked that, because it was actually wrong, so that's good. I'm also thinking, should I have maybe added in some of those fluid buffers somewhere here? Probably. I can do that towards the start of the... I don't have to do it here. That would just be a bit too much of a nightmare. Right, let's continue this now. You're going to go down to... Really? All of these? That's 3. Yeah, no, that's correct. Good. Some heavy oil residue now. Heavy oil. Horizontal to vertical now. Oh dear, that was miles off. That's not bad. We can work with that. And of course, don't forget to chuck in this, which you can forget, and it might be fine. Good. Bring you nice and straight into that. Disconnect that temporarily. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now make sure all of these are connected to, except for the last two, I think, isn't it? Or is it last one? No, last three. So that's it then. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 5. I've missed one. Round of applause to yours truly. Yeah. Don't know how I missed that. Wasn't paying attention. No. Typical. And get straight mode again back over there, and then pretty much do the exact same thing, but this time I might add you there rather than squeezing it there, which I didn't really like that much. Still going to be bringing it straight up. Fantastic. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although in theory, don't you all of you need to be connected to each other? Yeah, you do. Absolutely do. Asphalt. Yeah. There we go. It sounded like I was telling it off there for a second. Why are you half a nudge out of place? Why? That's just declaring war on my last 3 brain cells. I don't appreciate that. There we go. Is that straight? No. It's fine. We'll do this. Boom. Good. Oh, I've got vertical mode selected. I was wondering why I couldn't see it. Now, there's actually no power over on this side. Luckily, though, we can just grab some power. That's not a problem. Oh, it's too high. There we go. I mean, it does go straight through the pipe, but let's just pretend as a community that it doesn't go straight through the pipe. I like that idea actually quite a lot. I salute that idea. Jolly good. That is most marvelous. Why? That's fine. Everything here should be either yellow or green. I just realized I'm done. I finished it, right. I don't know why I was thinking to myself, I've got to try and connect some sort of solid here. But I don't. I suppose I've got to try and make sure the Petroleum Coke is going to the right spot. So you can just come straight down there. You then do the same. There we go. Line number 1. Out of I don't know how many. And you were my fire, my one desire? No. 180. It's your 564 Petroleum Coke. This is the 564. You're now heading off in this direction. In fact, you are heading off. Yeah. Why? You're not straight. You're not straight, which is quite disappointing. No, I want you to be a little bit closer to this, actually. There we go. Just hug the pipe. That doesn't sound right. Now, because in theory you're actually the most petroleum coke I'm going to be getting out of it, what I'm then going to want to do is grab... Which one's the furthest one that goes left? I think it's you. No, it's not. It's that. Is it? I can't bloody see anything. Oh, and there's more floors. Which idiot designed this? It was me, everyone. Hi. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. Whatever the Taylor Swift song goes. So I think it is this one. Yes, okay. You. Oh, so it is that. Sure. I'm just going to stop questioning things and just accept the fact that I'm a very, how do I say this? Fascinating individual when it comes to building things. But there we go, that's now going to be loaded onto the train. Oh, no it's not. Why? Why have you decided to, quite frankly, piss me off? How can I get up? Just get me up, get me up. There we go. Now, what's your drama? Loads. But I can't see your load at the minute, so... Is there a way I can? Why are you being blocked here? Why? What kerfuffle has occurred for you to not want to go there? Everything's good here. You come up to there, then what happens? You're good? What's the problem? What? Oh, you don't exist. Conveyor belt starts, conveyor belt stops. Weapon fires, weapon stops. Sorry, it's a... Wow, that was a tick. No, it wasn't. When you do your ACMT... In fact, it's not even the ACMT, it's the weapons handling test. One of the things they'll say is weapon fires, weapon stops. Although they've changed the way it works now, which is quite stupid, because it was completely fine. I think I would like you to come up to here, if that's possible. And then regarding everything down here, I could just hide the crimes. That sounds like a really good idea. Yep. Obviously I can't hide everything, but a lot of it I can. So we'll just go ahead and do that. I hate that more than life itself, but that's unfortunate. Wrong one. Okay, that's not too bad. Wow, we've made tons of petroleum coke. It's kind of settling in, like, how much 2,560 per minute actually is. That's a pretty ridiculous amount. You are going to be 467. 487. And because you are the least amount of petroleum coke being produced, what I'm going to do here... Oh, that's a bit of a tight squeeze. You work, though. That is good. You actually work. That is rare. I'd appreciate if... No, I'd appreciate if you did that. Good. Ooh. I'm going to just very quickly move that out of the way. And I want this conveyor belt to connect to that conveyor belt. Heights-wise, you won't be possible from that angle. From up here, though, that might be a slightly different story if I can place it in the right location. One more. I'm hoping that will almost be fine. Okay. Good. You are now all combined together to then form our 487.5 petroleum coke. I would then appreciate if you continued in this direction. I know exactly where this one's going to go because it's the least amount of coke, I'm guessing. In fact, we are going to need some industrial storage containers as a buffer. Where should I suppose I have to do it here. Absolutely, I do. What I'll do then is set up a little zone over here. That can all go temporarily. Move you back to here. And before I do that, let me just make sure that I bring all of my conveyor belts in this general direction. Making notes of what each one of them actually are, because I will forget. Even though I shouldn't forget, but I will. I'll make sure of it. You are... none of these. I'll go with that. 487.5. That's tiny, but it's fine. As long as I can see it, it's okay. Don't know what that is just yet. I do know that you, though, are 564. No, not 5,564. That's a bit too much for one conveyor belt. You are NA. For now. Let's go get some more. What's that? Yeah, thank you very much again to everyone who's tuning in today, by the way. Hope that everyone's having a nice day so far. So you four connect. Then where do you break off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one. We 3 on the end. Yeah. One, 2. 2 nudges above the ground, just like that, because eventually you are now going to be on top of this. In fact, if I was just to rotate you around slightly. 1, 2. That's acceptable. Good. Then what I can do is plop down this over here. Good. And make sure that I line it up with all these stackable pipeline supports. Good. Yes, yes, yes. Now, these last 3, I believe, are all going to be exactly 500. That's going to be pretty simple to remember. Oh, hello. I don't quite know how I'm actually going to do my sorting system here. It doesn't have to be anything ridiculous. I think. I don't need that. That looks pretty good to me. The way that it's going to work, and the way that I like to do this the majority of the time, is that whatever item is being loaded onto a freight platform, which has the highest amount, let's say for example here it's 564, always goes towards the front, and the smallest amount, for example 487.5, always goes towards the rear. In fact, this is actually the best example I could probably give. Everything else in the middle is then like the middle amounts. This way I can get down to the other side and I instantly know the train at the front has the highest, the cart at the end has the lowest. It's just, I like to do that for planning reasons, but preferably I do try and keep everything nice and even, nice and similar. Just for this example, there was no point because everything here is fine the way it is. There's not, like, if there was a crazy difference, like 100 there than 600 here per minute, that would just be stupid. Because this one is going to fill up the freight cart and the freight station far quicker than the 100. But these are about the same. There's about an 80 difference. I try not to go above 100, but 80 is workable. That's less than a stack per minute. So it's really nothing huge. It's within my boundaries. Let's just say that. What I'm then going to do is actually transport all of the petroleum coke from here completely around the factory like that, which is really important for absolutely no reason other than the fact that I just want to do it. That's the most important reason. Speaking about reasons, I've decided to buy a Warhammer model, which is part of the Age of Darkness, the Horus Heresy sort of pack, which is interesting because normally I just get 40k. But I think it's Horus Heresy, Hordes Heresy. It's slightly different to 40k because I believe that's 30k. I thought, why not? I'm going for an Imperial Knight, not a huge fella, because they're a ridiculous value, or money even, but a bit of a smaller one for now. What? I think it's called a Heretic. Something Heretic. Actius Heretic? I don't know, but it looks pretty cool. You're going to be on the ground level, and that one's going to be slightly above. Okay, let's do that. I can actually try and show you guys an image. It's all I've been doing the last couple of days is just watching Warhammer stuff. I typed in age, and the very first thing that came up was this thing. Wow. These guys. Because I think they look pretty sick. It's the Armiger. Helverins, that's the one, yes. You can either go with green or blue or red. I'm going to go with green because that's just the Age of Darkness colours, which I think looks pretty nice. I've also got some Scutari Rangers, which I'm actually going to be painting green as well, because the good thing is those huge knights actually can go into a Adaptus Mechanicus army. Because the problem is, okay, I won't talk too much about Warhammer before everyone falls asleep. The problem is with the Admechs is that their armies are quite expensive to try and build. So it's cheaper to actually get huge knights than it is to build an Admech, a 2,000 point Admech army. 1, 2, there we go. I want this to go directly alongside it. So that's what we're doing. Having knights with our Admechs. And I believe the Scutaris can actually help some knights occasionally. It's pretty awesome. 1, 2. Okay, that's the end of the Warhammer talk. Let's see how much I can get painted over the next few days. Hopefully a lot, but yeah. Okay, do I like the way our power is coming down like that? Not really. I can try and hide it into the wall in just a sec. But for now, it's not really causing me any physical harm. I don't think, at least. Right, you can go that way. This might be potentially really good or really bad, depending on how this goes. Let's see. You're too far. I should have probably thought of that. Why did I not think of that? And chuck that into that. Height-wise, that looks pretty good to me. Is this wrong? Wait. I don't want to get this wrong. I'm really hoping this actually does fit on, by the way. If not, that's going to be quite annoying. Merge it. The best way I can see if this works or not is by temporarily removing this. Upload you to that. No. That doesn't actually fit. That looks better. There we go. Okay, now this works. There's a solution to everything in this game. If you think you're stuck, you're not. There's a solution to whatever problem it is that you're going through. That sounded like mental health advice. It's not. I don't do mental health advice. I'm not qualified. I do make a nice sandwich, but that's not really... That could help you mentally. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a good sandwich. Yeah. There we go. I seem to have created... Oh, kill me now, like, please. I seem to have created some sort of... Speaking about mental health advice. No. Heavy oil residue sandwich, talking about sandwiches as well, where I seem to have conveyor belts on either side, and then the pipes, which I tried so nicely to make look nice, now almost completely obstructed. Luckily, you can get a good view of them from this angle, but then the angle where I've got the windows, which granted this window in particular isn't necessarily going to be used for anything. Oh, you can see it. Actually looks quite nice. I like that. Wow, we've done a thing. We have absolutely done a thing. Now make sure that I've placed a few more of the conveyor poles around here. I can. Slightly finicky. I'm also hoping everything's in line too, which it should be. It seems a bit too far. Try this. That actually works. Wow, I thought that would be way too far. But apparently not. We rejoice. I always like to try and race my items on my conveyor belts. They go really quick, especially this is a Mark V, bear in mind. But they travel quick. That's kind of the main reason why I don't mind using conveyor belt highways everywhere, because firstly, it's as efficient as you can physically get it. And secondly, it does move pretty quick. Here we go. I need 5 of these, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes! Not bad going at all. I shouldn't need more than 1 industrial storage container, though. At least I very much doubt I will need this. And how are we going to do this now? Let's just do one at a time. Let's compose ourselves. Full composure is most necessary in the most difficult of times. Or whatever the saying is, I don't know. So those were the 2 easiest ones, I'll be honest. Now, you're in quite a tricky position. Because you're not actually lined up with anything. You are. Nothing else is. I suppose actually I'll get you out the way with. Yeah. please. Inwards by 2. Default down to that. Default to here as well. Okay. Then you will just slide into there. I know it's not going to be the neatest thing ever, but it still looks decent. And we'll take it, honestly. Look at all that petroleum coke. That is unreal. I mean, the last time the world has seen coke move at this speed was most likely on the Colombian border. That is unbelievable. And it's so satisfying as well. Anyway. Now the not so difficult part, but potentially tricky thing here, is going to try to be, how can I get it up there? Let's try this. You'll then come around that way. 500, 500, 500. So you guys are all the middle ones. And I believe you're the one that's on the far left, aren't you? Yet again, I do just want to make sure. Whoa. Seems like it's yes. Okay, good. Oh, whoops. Deary me. Okay. Come down to the bottom. Then we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2. I mean, I kind of wanted to try and do something like that. No, don't change. What? No, okay. I'll try it from this side then. I suppose that's what I wanted to try and do. I'm a little bit concerned, though, that it might actually collide with this. Let's find out. 1, 2. 2. Yes, because you're now going to have to come forwards by bits, aren't you? Heights-wise, elevation-wise at least. 1, 2. Maybe even 3, 4, honestly. Yes, because then you can connect. Okay, I've got an idea. Oh, you don't do that, do you? Oh, that's really annoying. I could move you back by a little bit. Then now you clip. Can I try and go 1.5 back, like so? Yeah, you're still going to get in the way. And only just. Like, look how much that's sticking out by. The wall's going to be here. Hey, why is there a gap? It doesn't matter. Actually, it kind of does, but there shouldn't be a gap there, really. Yeah, the wall's in the right spot, just you aren't. Okay. Right. What's going to be the solution now to this problem? Again, this game is just problem solving. I have a solution. And that it's going to involve this. Again, who would have thought? Wow. One, two, 1, 2. Connect to that. And come in like so. You're still going to continue your plan around here. However, now, you take priority by going there. Thus meaning... Hmm. I mean, either way, you're going to go into here. Let's just get the things out of the way with that I know I'm going to do. Bring you down to there. I do love using the curve for these conveyor belt ramps. They just look so smooth. They're beautiful. So we've got tons of coke coming down here. Lovely. I'm really impressed. I mean, again, this doesn't look too nice, which is a bit of a shame. I just don't know how else I can make it look nice, though. Why is there a second one? That's for 500. Oh, yeah, okay. Wait. One of you's going to the same spot. Yeah, I thought so. So you've now got to go. And instead, you're going to go here. Using straight mode. Don't know if I like that. Instead, I want you actually to come over here. And get you to line up over there. Good. Regarding this, you are lined. You're not. No, don't. Oh, don't tell me it's going to curve. Oh. That's where I need it to be, but it's going to curve. It looks like... Okay. The simplest problems are often the most complicated to solve. As I'm proving that statement true yet again. Better idea. Well, I say better, it's less worse. I want to try and establish these conveyor belts just like what I've done over here. The way it was all uniformed and all the creases were ironed out. I really like that. Like so. Okay. We then have two coming in there. What I can try and do here then is this. The most and least. Ooh. I wouldn't mind if you were lined up with that though, in all fairness. Because you're most, you should actually be going to the first one. Which means that you then have to overlap everything. It's fine. Luckily, we're relaxed, so it's not too bad. Don't worry too much about my war cry. Welcome back, Vinod. You've tuned in at the most perfect time, where I was just expressing my happiness via shouting into my hands. It's very common in England to do that. It's like a traditional thing. Okay. Right. You're now going to be slightly adjusted. Then you are the lowest amount, aren't you? Okay. Now if I was to do this, you'll then be cutting over everything else. So then, what do we do? Kind of the whole question, isn't it? I might have to do smallest at the front, largest at the end. That way then I can essentially solve all my problems. Because you can still remain the largest. In fact, no, you don't actually have to do that. Sorry. Yep. You'll go down there somewhere, you'll go down there somewhere. You... Let's see. I think you come up by that much. How is that? Then again, that can go. Which would then leave us with the 3 500s. All of which, I suppose, can actually... No, they can't all be this level. Why is there nothing coming out of there? Oh, there's still some, I think. Yeah. No. No. Maybe they've just not got enough heavy oil residue now. That's fine. Three 500s. They can't all be on the same level. One has to be slightly higher. That's actually worked out pretty good. What I can then do then is that to there, that to there, and bring you down. Not quite that far out, monsieur. There. Too low? Yeah. Of course you are. You jammy so-and-so. There we go. That's slap bang in the middle. Lines up there rather nicely too. Good. You're now going to continue over here. Same with that. One more on top. When it comes to the top one, all I have to do is this. When it comes to these two, however, I'm not sure how simple it's actually going to be. You can come around there. 1, 2. And you to here. 1, 2. Back. Brilliant. I love when a good plan doesn't bother coming together. Yeah. I mean, you're curved, which I'm not a massive fan of. But that's the best option I think we have for now. Okay, so that works. That works. Yep. Oh. Good. Which means we can then activate this and say we have now made two... Yo, TG, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome. We can then say we have now produced 2,560 petroleum coke from 853 heavy oil residue. Amazing stuff. Now I suppose we can focus a little bit more about finishing this actual factory and, again, trying to figure out why our foundations are all off. It's really weird. They shouldn't be at all. They clearly are. How about here? you're fine from there. What about the other side? You're going to run down there. You're going to do something very similar. And now you stick out by, oh, half a nudge. It's always half a nudge. Why is everything always half a nudge? Never have I made a mistake and it's been sticking out by, I don't know, 2 nudges or 3 nudges, sometimes 4. Half? You're having a laugh? I didn't mean to run. You can actually remain the way you currently are, even though I do want to make sure that the rest of the grid is snapped correctly. You're going to be coming here like so, and that. In fact, I mean, yeah, no, I'll keep it like that. Also, I think you're too high, aren't you? Are you? No, we've got a regular basic wall underneath there. That's completely fine. 1 meter basic wall. I'm then going to have to add a wall in here. And also a wall here too. The reason why I can't just do 1 wall... Oh. I didn't think about that. You'll be slightly lower down, then that's fine. The reason why I can't just do 1 wall there is because our conveyor lift is slightly encroaching to the other side of the wall itself. But the double wall will completely solve that problem. Yes, everything here will be lower down just a tad bit. Very quickly check something. There we go. Oh, Star Rupture. Oh, well, Coffee Jar. Upload the video about Star Rupture, about changes. Give me a second just to see how long it is. There we go.
Hi,
I'm
everyone.
intrigued. Hello.
Welcome to the Star Rupture Early Access Update 1 overview. In this video, we'll discuss some of the biggest changes introduced in Update 1. We'll explain what's changed in terms of game balance and some more advanced mechanics to help you survive on Arcadia 7.
Zip lines, hell yeah. Can we spot anything that's new straight off the bat? Whoa, look at the storage units there. Bloody hell. They're huge. Are these the drones as well? I don't know. I don't think they're drones. I've actually never used drones yet. I really want to. Yeah, well, we know about this.
All corporation levels are rolled back to level 1, and your progress from before the update will be restored as data points.
Yep.
You can distribute the received data points in the corporate terminal to quickly unlock corporation levels and new rewards.
Recycle.
All previously unlocked and built buildings will remain on the map and will remain operational, but you won't be able to build them again without first unlocking them in the corporate terminal or the development station.
Which we found out the hard way, of course. Wait, large personnel storage? What? Level 3? What is that? Clever logistics? No, clever robotics, I think it's called. Or yeah. I don't remember seeing that. Oh, you can research it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. That makes sense.
Some mechanics that were previously available at the start of the game are now locked behind certain corporation levels, such as walkway and dash. The pistol is no longer available as a corporation level reward. You'll be able to craft it in the equipment upgrade station along with other weapons.
Makes sense, yeah.
In the case of death, you'll lose all weapons you're carrying, including the pistol, so you need to watch your vitals and health more closely.
Okay. The teleporter is now a corporation reward. Yes. I've never used a teleporter.
You can now unlock the teleporter by achieving the corresponding corporate level. You won't need to launch the Forgotten Engine to receive it anymore.
That's really cool. Yeah, quartz has changed massively. I'm actually wondering, can you mine quartz now? I don't think you can. Obviously, you can still find them in caves, and they're hugely found in the corporate paths as well. I wonder if there's any other changes to quartz, though, and how they're spent and used.
In Update 1, all quartz spent on buildings will be returned to your inventory as quartz ores. Any old quartz building materials you still keep in your inventory or personal storage can no longer be used for building, but you can recycle them into quartz ores without loss in the recycling. You can then use these ores at the development station to unlock new upgraded buildings.
Oh, does Ignitium actually have a purpose now? I've just spent all my Ignitium. Oh. Large habitats, Fabricator V2. Oh.
The development station to
There's tons to research as well. I didn't even realize there was this much. Data point is not bad, quartz not bad, but yeah, the Ignitium, I've sunk or spent all my Ignitium.
Unlock new upgraded buildings. Buildings that previously required quartz building materials are now included in the base core overheat capacity, so build them wisely.
Yeah. What happens if a base core does overheat? I've never seen this before. Nothing? Everything seemed fine. Cargo dispatcher. Okay, good.
With Update 1, the cargo dispatcher and receiver mechanics have been reworked. Now they can only be connected one-to-one. One cargo dispatcher will work with a single chosen cargo receiver.
Yeah.
Previously existing connections will no longer work and will need to be manually reconnected.
Yeah, seems simple enough actually.
You no longer need to set the size of parcels. The cargo dispatcher will automatically pack and send materials to its cargo receiver every 20 seconds.
Damn, not bad. Not bad at all. Blueprints changing. Blueprints? Oh, right, yeah.
From now on, when you pick up a blueprint that you found previously, you'll receive an item with data points. No more duplicate blueprints in the Blueprints tab.
Fantastic. Very good change.
Blueprints previously available in the Forgotten Engine have now changed their location.
Oh. Recipe changes? Oh no.
Individual recipes have also changed. Additional components have been added, removed, or altered to products such as nanofiber, the pressure tank, the condenser, and the superconductor.
Luckily, I haven't crafted any of them yet, or even attempted to craft any of them yet.
In addition, production time and required items have been rebalanced in various...
See, I thought this was quartz. Clearly it's not.
...recipes.
Yeah, that's helium. I'm not watching the rest. I don't want to get spoilers, but that's still pretty cool. From the 4 minutes and 12 seconds I saw, that's really cool. I think they go on to talk about the story, I'm guessing, but yeah, that looks like some really solid changes. I'm happy for that. Is there anything else I want to massively do? Just, I suppose, work on the interior and this. What am I going to do with this? I really don't know what's actually going to happen with this. It's a huge space. It's huge. I could easily fit in 15, 16 refineries if I fit them in right. Yeah, we'll say 16. Maybe upwards of 20. I don't want drone ports, obviously, because the drones can't really go anywhere. I can open the roof, but I don't really want to. There's tons of room out there for drone ports. I know what to do. I know what to do. Also, the reason why I've kept this open, by the way, in case you're wondering, it's not a mistake. It's because I like the way that you can just go from being inside the factory to then being outside the factory. And when I start to develop my drone station, I think this would actually be quite a nice little vantage point. Why is there a gap here? Like, there's not a gap anywhere else except for here. What I wanted to try and work on very quickly was our fluid buffers. And here's the plan. You guys ready? I'm going to add in industrial fluid buffers. I'm feeling happy today. That's the reason why I never normally... Well, I say I never use them. I've used about 40 of them back over there. But I normally don't... you interact with the top of that. Brother, ew, what's that? Also, I could probably move you forward slightly, can't I? There we go. And that's now lined up. Are you not aligned with... Oh. It's a long day. There we go. Good. You can just go there. Oh. How am I going to do this now? 1, 2. And do that. Have you shoot off over there? Why are you sitting? Thank you. Then have you shoot off over there. Have you come straight down? Have you come straight down? Then bosh, straight. No, not curved mode, straight mode. Like so. It doesn't look brilliant, but you know what it is? Functional. Okay. We'll do 2. 3, was that right? Yeah, it is right. Boom, pow, boom, pow. Down. So you're in line with this and across. You're now aligned with this and across. There. We needed this. And do you actually provide a head lift? I can't imagine you do because you don't produce any sort of power to provide a head lift. No, you don't. Do I now need a pipeline pumpter? I don't think I should. Okay. There's no more heavy oil residue coming out from here. That's not a problem though. We fixed it. I don't know what to do with this wall just yet either. I've obviously got a design in mind, but I don't know how to execute it just yet. We'll see how it goes. And regarding the exterior of this as well, again, I've got an idea, but I'm not sure how it's going to go. The best thing I can probably try and do here is make sure that this is lined up exactly with where that one is. Are you the same blueprint or what? You look nothing like each other. You definitely are. That's lined up now, I'd say. Lined up nicely, in fact. Let's go. Just keep nudging it. Just keep nudging. Just keep nudging. We didn't finish that area. That's fine. See, the problem is there's so many parts of the factory that I just want to try and finish. And I will. Of course I will. But most of it can just be off-camera stuff. Because it's just not as fun to watch on camera. Okay, I want you to line up. With something going somewhere, somehow. We've done it, chat. Because you're about 1.5 in. How about, like, interior-wise? Is that easier to line up? Bloody hope so. Now, one would assume there, but... 1, 2. Back by 2. Then make sure that's aligned with this. I think I added that in by myself. All by myself. I know. Well, I'm growing up. I'm 23, but I'm still growing up. And you cut straight through there. Yes. I am happy with this placement. You stick out too far? Nope. Let's plop it down. Less time chatting, more time flatting. I don't know. That's all lined up there. There is still a gap here that can be very easily fixed off camera, because that would just about do it for today. Either way, stream, thank you guys very much for tuning in. We've now... Oh, that looks a bit of a mess, doesn't it? I can try and border this off, maybe. Either way, we've just about finished all the logistics now for our 2,560 Petroleum Coke. Wow, that's already filled up? Damn, that's quick. That can't be right. Give us a second here, chat. I promise I will end the stream. Don't worry. You don't have to suffer for too much longer. But I do want to make sure that this is... Sorry, that this is filled up properly. Yeah, 9,600. Bloody hell. And you're about... Oh, you have filled up now. Oh, how extraordinary. Yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your day. More Satisfactory tomorrow, so I hope to see you guys there. Stay safe, pioneers, and as always, Godspeed and cheerio.